You are now listening to For All Nerds Show, a podcast about geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color. For All Nerds is hosted by DJ BenHaMeen and Tatiana Jones. For All Nerds Show is a member of the Loudspeakers Network, where we always say rest in peace to our founder, Combat Jack.
For All Nerds Show is powered by our listeners. Everything we do, from our podcasts, live events, our website, are all independently funded. Please continue to support us through our Patreon page at patreon.com/forallnerds.
Welcome to the Fan Bros, the show where the bros are fans. Doodle.
And what's up, y'all, and welcome back to the For All Nerds Show. The voice of the urban geek, the podcast where we discuss geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color. And as always, back in the captain's chair, it's your boy, DJ BenHaMeen, Howard University's own, a.k.a. Halal Jordan, Cal L. Bundy, Black the King Kirby, Quentin Quarantino, Lightworker Gami, Buzz Ouchie, Method Mansplaining. I'm here. I got a million AKAs, so I'm going to cut it short and introduce my co-host.
Yes, Tatiana King, also Howard University's own, a.k.a. the Ting of the North, Flex Luthor, Gin and Juice Urso, Lambo Calrissian, and the Lord of Lightsabers.
And as you see, folks, you know, I know a lot of people out there have been asking a lot of questions. It's like John Wick, you know, they keep asking me, am I back?
I'm thinking I'm back.
Yes, we are back. We took some time off to have the main fan show on hiatus, as I think we mentioned before that we were retooling some of the approach of the show. You'll see that in the next coming weeks, but we did want to come back before we completed that because there's so much to talk to you all about. And I mean, there's so much that has happened, and we're going to get into everything specifically, but we really felt it was time to just address all of the changes and all of the news that has transpired in the last few months.
Yes, for real. And it's been, you know, a trying couple of months for a lot of people. I know, especially since we've been gone, a lot of people really love listening to us week after week. And even though we've been hitting y'all with the views from the 616 consistently, make sure if you haven't checked that out because we review pretty much every Marvel production down the line.
I need my check. That's all I did at this point. I need my check, bro.
It's been a lot, you know, but we understand that people also just love the For All Nerds, love hearing the rapport between me and Tatiana, just talking about whatever and whenever. So, you know, we came back with this special episode because there's been a lot going on, and it's a lot of things that I just personally want to talk to people about. And I think it also has to do with why we've taken our hiatus, because one of the things that I've been thinking a lot lately about, and this last year, and just, you know, I guess even the last few years, because like my mother's birthday is coming up. My mother's birthday is September 11th. My mother passed away a little over 2 years ago now. And, you know, that's been like, you want to talk about like, you know, going from a sacred timeline to like a multiverse of madness is, you know, one way I can describe it. It's been just a complete reevaluation of everything in my life. And so a lot of the things I think about are like, what am I doing with my life? And what will my legacy be when, you know, I'm gone? And how will people remember me? And so I've been working at, you know, being a better person in my own eyes and just doing better and just feeling like I'm more of a happy and loving and giving person, you know, outwardly, so people don't feel like, oh, Ben's angry about this or Ben's always angry about that, and et cetera, et cetera. But it also just makes me think about like even what we do at the show, because sometimes I sit around, I'm like, damn, I don't want to just, I've reviewed a bunch of movies, you know, like that's my legacy, you know, I talked about a bunch of TV shows, you know, like, and I know that I've already done a lot of things that are like, you know, forever. Like, shout out, you know, For All Nerds is for forever. You know, this is a monumental thing that we've created here. You know, the Combat Jack Show Rest in peace to Reggie Osei. It's just a legendary thing. I've done DJing, I've done this. I'm a Howard University graduate. I know we've touched a lot of people with this show. I know a lot of people always hit us up on email. I mean, not a lot, like where it's like, oh yeah, but I mean, people will write emails to us, messages, and just really explain to us what the show means to them, what we mean to them, and that's mind blowing to me. I've met people on the street. I've met fans and friends of the show. The fam on the street at conventions. Hey, we got something big coming up for a convention. Speaking of that, but these type of things mean a lot to me, and I know this is important, but at the same time, I also wonder, what am I doing and what are we doing? And is this a worthwhile endeavor to put so much time into?
Well, if that was a question, for me, I'm answering that it is a worthwhile endeavor, and it's been a worthwhile endeavor for so long, particularly because it has really steered my life in the direction that I both wanted it to go in and also had no idea I wanted it to go in. And it's been nothing but blessings. The stressors and the negativity has been, all that has been outweighed by all of the blessings that we've received because of this show. You mentioned people, just even the aspect of us helping people, right? That for me, that is huge. That's monumental, because to me, legacy means you help others. Legacy, or part of what legacy means, is you helping others. You are uplifting others. You are helping others to advance or succeed or build. And to be able to have this show and our multiple shows and all the other things we do, where we are putting good into the world, where we are putting creativity into the world, where we are putting difference of thought into the world in a way that helps people in some way, shape, or form, that's monumental to me. So I would say, just even on that level, I've always felt like all of that, the negative stuff gets completely outweighed by all of the great things about what we're doing. And also, as I mentioned, like the opportunities this show has given us, like we've talked to so many different creators, indie, established creators, actors, writers, like everything within entertainment and fandom and all the different industries and arts that you could think of. We've spoken to them, and a lot of them we've befriended. And to be able to have that unique experience that I know I wouldn't never have gotten any other way, like I don't want to know what the other timeline was, right? Like, this is my sacred timeline, and we've run through a variety of Nexus events that completely changed the course of this show. I mean, we used to be called Fanbro Show, for one. And that name change really did open up a lot of doors for us. And it was really about letting people know, like, we're more than just a name, right? And the name didn't define who we were. Like, this is more definitive of what we are, of what we strive to be, of what we are doing in the world. And of course, and we make it very plain, like, look, we Black. We talk for the people of color. We give the mic to the people of color. We uplift the platform. We make it known that we are in this space. We are in the space of fandom. We are important to this space. We are important to entertainment. We're important to pop culture and geek culture. And at the end of the day, for me, like, I've just been very happy. Yeah, I have the same times where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I feel like recording today, or oh, I'm not into this. But I just feel like, all of the great things that have occurred because we keep driving, keep pushing forward, are because that we stick with it and the consistency of it. And obviously because of the support of the fam. That means everything. The fact that we have a successful Patreon going and growing, the fact that y'all fuck with us so heavy, y'all buy the merch. And that's what I'm telling you, like, it really matters that y'all put us and uplift us as well. And the way you support us, the one you all are tweeting at us and tagging us on pictures and photos and conversations with us and joining the Twitch and sharing us with others. Like, those are my favorite tweets to see, for example, when everyone's like, yo, like, if someone asks, oh, I'm trying to find a podcast about Marvel, but from Black people or whatever, or people of color, or whatever. And ultimately, I've seen it happen 9 times out of 10. Someone says, yo, you should check out ForAllNerds. Yo, you should check out Views from the Six. Or they at me or Ben. And it's just phenomenal, because to have that recognition, that's also what I view legacy is, as part of my definition of legacy, that recognition and that understanding. And that's why it's, like, so important that I just take that with so much humble energy and appreciation. It's like we are making a difference in the world.
Mm. Well, I think, that helps me a lot. And, let it be known, like I say, this show, I miss it. Like, as soon as we started, I'm like, oh shit, we back again. Here it
You got
is.
excited, right?
Yeah. And it just feels good, talking to you, knowing that we're reaching people, knowing that people are listening, knowing that people have been asking for this and now they're getting it. That all makes me feel hyped. Like, I'm like, oh shit, okay, we about to talk about this Matrix trailer. We're gonna talk about Shang-Chi, all this stuff. And so I get it. I think it's just what we've been talking about is like, do we need to change the format of the show? Because do we need to make it more specific where we're diving into these deep dive topics? Or do people just want us, hear us talk, the shit? And sometimes I feel like I don't want to just talk the shit. I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I think that's where my issue, or not issue, is my conundrum, my,
Yeah.
yeah.
And just to give
impasse.
everyone a more specific glimpse, the conundrum is also particularly about our growth, right? Like we talked, like BenHaMeen and I just made some comments about what we see as legacy. And a lot of that requires more viewers, more listeners, more mainstream acceptance, if you will. And the way you do that is you have to iterate. You have to, nothing really should remain static, right? Really nothing in this world remains static. If you are to grow with society, if you are to grow with life, you have to also grow and change as necessary. And that's why even the show is not nowhere near the way it was 6 years ago. It wasn't nowhere near when I joined versus when Ben was there, and like everything.
That was like
changed.
5 episodes after we started,
right? But still, like even in that 5 episode, there was a quick shift. Like, okay, there's 2 women on here. We got to approach things a little differently. Like that idea of change is absolutely necessary, and so that's why. To kind of tie that back in what I'm saying, that's another reason why we are thinking about how to shift the show around, because we want to make sure that we are getting more people. We love the fan, we love the choir, but we have to expand the choir. The choir got to get bigger. And for us to be able to do more opportunities, like if y'all want to see us on TV, if y'all want to see us with our own show elsewhere, yes, we got a show coming up. It's a completely different show. But my thing is, if you want to see, for example, you want to see fan show become as big as IGN or any of these other places, and that's like a dream of mine. We need that. We need additional support outside of the general fan bubble. So that's why we talk about things like how do we potentially rearrange the show? How do we approach it? Right now it's kind of a variety show, and that's cool, but it's like, all right, we're speaking to the same 5,000 people. All right, where do we get the interest of growth? But also, how do we do that and stay true to who we are and what we're doing?
There it is. Yeah, because that's my thing. I always say that, and we talked about it before on the show. I believe the revolution starts small. And I believe that if you want to change the world, you change one person. You don't try and change 1 million people. When you're trying to change 1 million people, you're going to be trying to reach 1 million people. And that's just too spread out of a message.
Here's one thing. We're not trying to be everything to everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a futile search or a futile mission to go on. And also it doesn't allow you to be true to yourself. So that's not what we're trying to do here. However, we are trying to bring more people into the mix. So for example, our Views show has been exponentially more popular because it's very precise about what we talk about and what we do. And that is easily followable by even people who have no idea what fan show is. They know what Views from the 616 is. Like, they know what they get it, they understand. And once they get a taste of it, it's like, oh, we got to keep going. So we want to do something similar to this main show where it's like, it's more even inviting for people like, okay, I get what they're doing. Let me listen more.
Yep, there it is. But since we are speaking about legacy and life and everything, we have to take a second and pay tribute, respect, love, everything. I mean, this is like, it just keeps going. Like, it's been a lot. Like I say, since my mother passed, I feel like things just ain't been right. Like,
tell me about it.
Yeah, Prince, Kobe. I mean, every rapper, Biz Markie, like everybody that's just been, it's been a lot. And sadly, Michael K. Williams, like,
yeah, he passed.
The legend.
It was a shocker. It's still shocking to me. I still can't quite believe it. not because I had a one-on-one personal relationship with him, but because in maybe not in reality I did, but in some way I feel like I did.
Yeah.
And you feel like you did, for someone who's just really more of an entertainer, for someone who's a teacher, and for someone who has shared their spirit and energy in the arts in a really ground shifting type of way. Like when you look back, like we had already said that about his, for example, his how he played Montrose on Lovecraft Country. And when we even went back to watch those episodes and really analyzed him as a person, especially right before we interviewed him, because we interviewed him last year, like October or so of last year. When we really went back, and when I really went back and just studied him, it was just like, my God, like the stories this man is not just the stories he's portraying, but the things that he's teaching you as a viewer, as someone who can relate to him, as anything. And the facets and layer of his spirit were so strong, and the people he's touched have been vast. So that's why it was really hard when I heard it, and I just couldn't believe it. And it's just like he was, and you know how everyone feels that way, but you're like, yo, he was just here. Or I just spoke to him, or whatever. That's how I felt when Chadwick died. Like, it was just a few months ago that we had just spoken to him. I had just touched him in person and hugged him. And then he's gone. But one of the things I always say is, especially with people, I mean, everyone, but especially with people that as impactful as that, you got to remember their spirit remains. Like, I firmly believe that their spirit remains, their legacy remains. And Michael had touched so much that there's no way you can continue life without him being in there somewhere, or his influence being there somewhere. The people who have come up or coming up now as actors, the new folks, he influenced them. He influenced the current actors, right? And I mean, I'm just happy that he also had been receiving his flowers even up through this point, because we always say that give people their flowers while they're here.
Yeah, like speaking of that conversation that we had with him, I'm very happy that we did get to have that, because I don't know him personally either. I've met him before that through my friend Aisha Hines. Like, that's my people's. I've known her since, before she became the superstar that she is now.
Have you ever seen him around BK? Because he stayed in BK.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I
in
met
the streets.
her. Yeah, in the street. I met him with Aisha one day at Sugar Hill. We talked about it either in the interview or before we started actually doing the interview itself. But I told him about that. I was like, yo, we met over at Sugar Hill with Aisha. And he was like, oh, yeah, Sugar Hill. I was always, Sugar Hill's this little spot right over there. They got a little outdoor. It's old school bar, right down the street in Bed-Stuy. So, yeah, I'd seen him in the streets there. And I'd seen him somewhere else before that. I can't remember. But, like, I grew up with dude. Like, that's the thing. Like, Omar was one of them characters that changed my life. And I think he did that for a lot of black men, because to see a homosexual character portrayed like that, where you couldn't, there was no, Omar was just one of the most complete characters ever created for television. And it just changed people's views, because you couldn't be like, yo, that dude's a sissy. Like, no, Omar's the hardest out. Like, Omar is a real dude. And you felt him. Like, when his lover gets killed, it's like heartbreaking, And for a lot of black men who grew up with these ideas of masculinity and stuff, this was like revolutionary shit, because this allowed you to view, homosexuals different. Like, it was like, wow, okay, I'm not just gonna look at this some other, this is a man I can relate to. This is a character I can relate to. And this is a person, this is a human being. And that's what he did with Omar. And for that to be his first role, like first major role like that, to come from the world of dancing and then to come into acting with this complete ability to create a character like that.
Yeah.
I think I told him this. I swear to God, I've not been able to go back and rewatch the interview. I'm going to do it soon. Someone even emailed us and they said that they went to watch it and they talked about how, they felt like he would say he was a friend of ours. And I don't know, I know we usually have a great connection with people, and it's usually when I get to see them again or we get to see them again, and then we're like, oh shit, because they're all like, yo, Ben, Tatiana, what's good for all nerds? We're like, oh shit, these motherfuckers
You
remember
remember
who we
us?
are. Yeah, and they're like, yeah, da-da-da-da. And so, but we never got to have that chance with them because we didn't get to see him again after we talked. And so I know he had a great. I remember that, him telling his publicist everything about it. He had a great time, but there's this moment like I rewatched The Wire. This is like I don't know, 10 years or so ago. I rewatched the whole series, and I'm sitting there watching it. And when Omar gets killed, spoiler for anyone who ain't seen it, Omar does not make it through the end of it. He gets killed, and I rewound that shit. Like I rewound the DVD. I was like, nah, man. Like if I just rewind this shit, something, it'll magically change. Omar ain't gonna get killed like that. He gonna live forever. Cause that's just what that character meant to me and what it, and how powerful it was. Even though I'd already seen the series, I already knew Omar gets it. And so I think I got to tell him that when we talk about giving people roses, I swear we told him that on the show, but
yeah, we definitely did.
Yeah.
I believe we said it live on the show. I know we said it for sure.
Yeah.
Before we even before and after we recorded.
Yeah,
so.
because Omar was just something else to me than Chalky White to Montrose to all the roles that I've never even seen him in.
Yeah.
But yeah, Omar, Chalky, Montrose, those are just the ability to show the vulnerability of black men while remaining
the vulnerability of black men, the different facets of black men, the fact that he was a queer black man that had that, like, to be able to help represent like that it's just, as we said, Ben, like that aspect of legacy can mean so many different things. But when I say Michael K. Williams has left behind a beautiful legacy, he absolutely has.
And then I just know for him, he would, like, I think that's my issue. It's like, no matter what you do, you always feel like you could do more. And I know for him, and for me, knowing, just the man was just 54. Like, I'm like, damn it, man. He could, like, he don't get to be like the 65-year-old school grandfather in some movie. You know what I mean? Like the old retired gangster in some movie. Like the patriarch of a huge family in some other joint. Like,
I mean, that's what I believe Roy Wood Jr. he tweeted that he wishes that more of our black luminaries, Roy Wood Jr., that more of our black luminaries reach old age. So, and for one of the reasons you just mentioned, just the fact that it's just like, it feels unfair. Like, we want you to be able to make it to that point so you can be the elder statesman, and continue to, even at that point, still building a legacy and still being influential and still, as you say, doing these roles and still just being out there, giving your creative output.
And just being alive, and getting to bless people with your presence, like your friends, your family, F all of us and, the greedy people who want more from people. It's like people are always demanding an Andre album. I'm just happy Andre is somewhere out there living his best life.
Like alive, right?
Yeah, that man's already given me, all the great works I ever need from him. Like, if he ever decides to put out more music, I'll be happy, but I'm just happy he's alive. That's what I mean. I just want people to be alive and to be able to be here. And so when people be like, yo, Andre, can you put out an album? And that man can be like, they still love me, like, that's just great,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So it was very tough, but absolutely rest in power and paradise. Michael K. Williams and everybody that we've lost over the last year and we lost within the last few months that this show has been a hiatus. Like, we love you all and miss you.
Man, Biz Marquis, like, that's like my peoples. I know Biz from DC. And, everybody in DC knows Biz.
And like, this is entertainment on the other side, but rest in peace to Greg Leaks. Nene Leak's husband. Like, for those who've watched the shows, like, I'm one of them who've always been into Housewives and all that stuff. Like, his death was very hard too, because he's just a guy that everyone enjoyed, everyone loved, and that's when it's the hardest, right? When it's, even though they're not yours per se, like, so to speak, they still feel like family. They still feel like they're part of your experience in life. And when they pass, it's just like, damn.
Yeah, like, you were, you're a little younger, so I guess you missed the days when Biz was running the clubs in DC.
No, I don't know.
Oh yeah, there was a minute, like, I'd say late 2000s, mid 2000s, where Biz was like, as far as DJing, Biz was killing it, and he was amazing because Biz was the type who would play, like, every theme song from every TV show and rock it, have everybody singing along to all them joints and then go through all the old school distros, go through all the, he was a great DJ. And so, yeah, it's more than just like, as he was an entertainer, he was just everything. And he was just a great human being, a great person to be around. And he was a super fucking geek, and we never got to have him on this show. And he was like a Just Blaze level of geek, like everything. You know, he at one point, him and another DJ, or maybe it was like two other people, they own a house that just had records and toys in it because that's how much shit this man has. Like he was, you know, one of the kings, man. So like, yeah, from For All Nerds, rest in peace, Biz Marquis. Rest in peace to everybody, you know, we've lost. Blessings to all y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for being back with us. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with more from the show.
Hi, I'm Professor Brandon Obunu, a scientist who studies genetics and epidemics. And when I'm not doing long division, I'm listening to For All Nerds.
Hey yo, this is Danny Lore.
And this is Vida Ayala.
And we are
Twin Speaks.
And when we are not writing Ironheart or
James Bond,
we are listening to
For All Nerds.
Hi, my name's Genevieve King, and I play Jackie Veda on Netflix's Lock and Key. When I'm not cooking up new recipes in my kitchen, then I'm listening to For All Nerds.
Hey everybody, this is Peter Ramsey. I am the director of Rise of the Guardians and one of the directors of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And I like to listen to For All Nerds with Tatiana and the great BenHaMeen.
Hey, this is Hiro Kanagawa, actor and playwright, and you are listening to For All Nerds all the way.
Hi, this is Lexi Alexander, and I'm a filmmaker and a writer. And when I'm not playing with my vintage toys and feeding myself and my dog, then I'm listening to For All Nerds.
Hey, what's up? This is Ato Asado, and when I'm not on television and movie sets, I am listening to For All Nerds.
And what's up, y'all? And welcome back to the For All Nerds Show. Man, it's been a while since I could say that. But yes, we are back. Thank you all for being here. As always, make sure you check us out if you want to be one of the few, the proud, the many, the millions
And millions.
Go to patreon.com/ForAllNerds and join the fan fam for the price of a cup of coffee per month. You know, just one. I mean, actually less because Starbucks is hitting you for like $4, $5. You can get on the fan fam for even less than that, and you get exclusive benefits. You're supporting us. You're helping us out on this mission to bring geek and pop culture from the perspective of people of color to the world. So do it right now. Patreon.com/ForAllNerds. And if you're one of those few proud over there, you know, it has been a while for this as well. But we're back with one of my favorite segments, the Geekwently Asked Questions. The guac is extra.
It's extra.
And yes, if you're on the Patreon.com/ForAllNerds, you can ask a question. You can ask anything. But for everybody else, hit us up anytime, any place. Hit us, contact@ForAllNerds.com. Hit us on the Twitters, on the Instagrams, @ForAllNerds, and ask us questions because we're back. Well, right now, we don't know. We don't know when the next episode will be.
Right. So I was like, don't promise anything.
But just send us the questions and, you know, we'll get to them sooner than later. I promise.
Okay.
You know? Yeah, we going to be back. Don't worry about that.
We gonna make it.
We going to make it. You know what I mean? It's going to be all right. But what do we have up first and
All right,
last tonight?
First
Grand
up,
opening.
grand closing. First guac question comes from Rob J, aka Bucky Barnes' Mechanical Arm. Rob J writes, "What anime, if any, have you been watching lately?" I have been catching up on almost like Full Metal Alchemist. No, sir. I have been catching up on My Hero Academia, the current season, as well as the second season of Beastars. BenHaMeen, did you watch Beastars at all?
I did not finish the first season.
You
I did
didn't
not know the
finish.
second
Is
season
there a
was
reason
out.
why? Now, I have the question. Is the reason why you didn't finish? Was it too weird for you?
No, I
Did it
thought
get
it
too
was fucking
sexual?
incredible. I don't know. It's like, yeah, I have this thing
It's
with
fucking
animation.
incredible.
Yeah, it's stupid incredible on every level. There's nothing, you know, that I can say about it. I just have this thing with animation. Like, 1, 2, 3 episodes and after a while, I'm like, I need to see some real people. I don't know what it is, you know?
Is it animation in general or
Yes.
anime?
No, it's animation. Like it took me forever to watch Clone Wars, you know, Rebels.
See, I grew up on animation, so it took to this day. It took and takes me forever to do things like read the comic books, especially if there's an animation with it. Like I am an animated / animation person.
Me too. I don't know what it is.
Are you though? You just said it's hard for you to keep going, and you have to be a real person. I don't need to see no real niggas in life. I could just watch fucking animation stuff all day and be good.
I think it just has to be when I get in the mood. Like I'm going to once again before the Cowboy Bebop live animation comes out. I'm going to once again try and make my way through it. Because that shit I just find extremely boring. Keep it a buck. I don't, I think the animation is great. I know it's fine.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I find Cowboy Bebop to be boring at times. I've always found it to be boring at certain episodes. I was just like, all right, I don't really care. But
yes,
I also recognize it for what it is.
Yeah. And I love Beastars, and I wanted to get back into it. I probably just got distracted. It's a lot of good TV out there right now. That's the thing. That's the other thing. There's so much good TV right now. Right now, I'm halfway through The Flight Attendant, and I got to get back to that. But that shit broke my heart, so I don't even want to go back to that shit.
So you're heartbroken.
Yeah.
Are you afraid to get your heart broke?
Yeah, Rebels broke my heart. I have 3 episodes left of Rebels. It's been like 3 months, I think, since it broke my heart. And I just have not been able to go back because it broke my heart. So I've been like, I know. And like, ain't no way to save my heart at this point. I know there should be some resolution in those last 3 episodes, but they did what they did. And it was so well done. It was so incredible, but it broke my heart. So I've been like, I've been like, what's the point? Like, I know the last 3 episodes are going to be great.
I've also been watching God of High School. That I have to watch when I'm not like dead tired because I keep falling asleep and having to restart the episode. But God of High School is pretty cool as well. It's based fighting type anime. And Beastars, the anthropomorphic characters that are based on animals, really like carnivores versus herbivores situation. And then My Hero Academia, which is essentially throughout the world, like 98% of society has superpowers and the implications of that.
Great show as well. Loved the first season, and then I never went back.
You got to get on it, Ben. I mean, but then again, that's another thing everyone has to remember. Like, a lot of times we get so many requests to watch and review things. I mean, we honestly get unlimited requests for that, and the only problem is we don't have a limited RAM in our heads, and we don't have. I mean, contrary to popular belief for science, we don't have the unlimited capacity to keep going and doing all of these and doing reviews for everything simply because it takes time. As y'all know, we really put our foot in it when it comes to our reviews, when it comes to our interviews, everything. So imagine that level of effort. Like a show that you all hear within 30 minutes to an hour, it takes days of prep. So literally, like it's with views, days of prep. So imagine like if we just have to keep adding on shows over and over again, which is why with the help of the fan, we can do things like expand the For All Nerds umbrella, which means bringing in more people with us, which means more opportunities for a review, which means more personalities like myself and BenHaMeen on the For All Nerds umbrella. Could you imagine a For All Nerds network where you have multiple editors and reviewers that are doing and talking about different things from the perspective of people of color? That's the goal. That's the goal. That's why we need your support, y'all. So serious, man.
All right, what's the next question?
The next one is from Patreon, comes from Sean MSL. I don't want to say your full name just to give you some privacy, but Sean wrote, "Hey y'all, I hope you're doing well. I had a twofold question after seeing Black Widow on Disney Plus. It's been bothering me. 1, is Nat's body at the gravesite and who put it there?"
I guess that's 1 and 2.
I guess that's 1 and 2. Hawkeye didn't bring it back from Vormir. Maybe Cap brought it back when he put all the stones back. Interesting to see what your take is on this. Have a great day.
How do we know Hawkeye didn't bring it back? Oh, because he woke up in the ocean.
Vormir happened, Vormir left. Like there was nobody did anything in Vormir. Like I didn't see nobody talking about they brought her body back.
Yeah, but that's not something you say on screen. Oh yeah, guess what? In the back of the Quinjet, I got Nat's body.
Why not?
No. Just that's grimy. Like that's
Yo,
really
her
like
body back, the body in the trunk back there.
yeah,
like,
that's just really disturbing. Like
well,
that's unnecessary.
It wasn't disturbing that she jumped off the roof.
Yeah, so you don't want to add on to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm so fucked up in my head. I was just like, the ledge she jumped off looked like Mufasa's ledge when, on Lion King. Okay.
When he got ran over by a pack of wildebeest. Oh my God! Still. Oh my God! Yeah.
Just right over the side.
Rolls every time, dog. I cry laughing every time. I'm sorry.
You cry laughing at Mufasa's death?
Yeah, that's
not funny, man.
I'm
still traumatized.
I know it. I saw when I was older, so it didn't hit me like that.
No, I was a child.
Yeah, I know. Well, I understand. But when you're older and you hear the name wildebeest, it's just too funny to me. Like. You got ran over by some wildebeest?
Ben! All right. So that's sorry. We took a short detour.
Wildebeest.
Nat's body. Is Nat's body the greatest side? I don't think it is. For example, here's a better question. Does it matter? Because
facts.
You can put a tombstone down for anybody. The body don't need to be there. But that's still the site where you go potentially to grieve for them.
Yeah.
What about people in war where their bodies can't be retrieved? Or maybe there's nothing to retrieve. Like you still maybe want something to represent at the grave or whatever it is. So for me, who cares? I don't want to dismiss your question. It's just like, what are the here's a better question. What are the implications if it is Nat's body and who put it there? What changes? What in the timeline changes? And anything material change whether or not her body's there. And that's unfortunately the way I think about a lot of life. What is the material implications? If there are none, does it really matter?
Well, one interesting thing that I've been thinking about a lot because I've been working on this TikTok. Shout out to everybody following us on TikTok.
Yes.
ForAllNerds. You already know the name. Make sure you go over to TikTok and follow us. ForAllNerds.
We already have multiple TikToks up there.
Yes, and I'm working on one explaining the MCU timeline up to this point as I see it. And there's a few inconsistencies, especially.
There's mad inconsistencies.
But it's a lot more than I realized for Cap bringing things back.
That his whole shit is fucked up. His whole shit is like Terminator levels.
Impossible.
Everything about what Cap did is on Terminator levels of just this don't make no sense. These could be plot holes.
But see, Terminator, that's the thing. Terminator 1 and 2 they don't really have a lot of plot holes. Terminator 1 and 2 taken together.
I'm talking about
after that, it becomes a hot mess because there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Too many cooks. But yeah, when it's with Cap bringing the stuff back makes it really hard, except for the idea that the variants are just being clipped off. But here's a question that I have for you really quick and to that, right? When Loki vanishes with the cosmic cube and the TVA comes along and erases that variant, does that mean that never happens? Like Loki never...
They never erased that variant. That variant.
They didn't. I know. They still... That dude... But they did erase...
That dude's the dude that we followed the show with.
But they did erase the Mongolians...
The timeline. The timeline itself.
Timeline, yes. So does that mean that... What the fuck happened to the cosmic cube, basically? Because...
They took it from him.
Yes.
And put it in the drawer with the rest of the bullshit.
Yes. So then how does it ever get back to where it's supposed to go?
There are multiple versions of the comic cube within multiple timelines.
But in our normal Avengers timeline, the cosmic cube went to Asgard and then ends up. Wait, let me just finish. Then that ends up with Loki and then gets got by Thanos, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how does it ever get to that if Loki vanishes with it?
My resolution of that was that this is just yet another branching timeline off of that timeline that you just stated.
So when Loki vanishes, that doesn't actually happen, is what you're telling me? Loki
not in the sacred timeline.
Not in the sacred timeline. No,
not in the sacred timeline.
But in the movie we saw, that was in the sacred timeline, and he vanished.
The movie we saw was in the sacred timeline,
and he vanished.
Nigga, I don't have a answer for you. Like this shit is all over the place. I just. Like I don't,
dog. I've been working on my graph. I'm over here looking like a maniac because of some of this shit like that.
You trying to draw your red lines between all of the clues and stuff. The thing is, the only way I've been reconciling this in my mind is diverging, branching timelines. Like anytime someone says, "Well, what other?" I'm like, "Oh, that was a different timeline," because there's no other explanation that makes sense in logic context, in the context of a 3D being that only understands 3D space and not 4D and higher, this is the best way I can uncomplicate it for myself.
So basically, that didn't happen, what we saw in the movie.
It didn't happen in that timeline. That did not happen because the TVA did their job and it didn't happen. If you want to retroactively apply it, and that's the other thing, are we going to sit here now retroactively apply the TVA to everything, to every MCU thing we've ever seen? Because then if that's the case, then that really fucks shit up. But yes, Ben, that's how I'm going to answer that question.
I'm just going with Endgame. That's all I'm worried about right now. And Endgame, that's from my graph, that's all that's throwing me off. Like the Cap stuff, I'm like, okay, he goes back. Somehow he managed
everything. It shouldn't did none of that shit.
But somehow he puts everything back without changing anything. Somehow.
And somehow the TVA says, or Kang says, that's okay.
Yes, fine.
Right.
But that Loki stuff just throws me off because it's like that cube has to go to get to Thanos to eventually get destroyed. You know,
I really believe there's just multiple versions. Just like there were multiple stones, there were multiple doodads in that drawer. It just got to be multiple versions. That's the only thing that explains it. And also, at the end of the day, none of that shit matters because you see how that shit was trinkets, paperweights in that drawer of the assistant within the TVA. And the grand scheme of the universe of time and space, them things don't mean shit.
No, I get that. But it did matter to it being in Loki's hands so Thanos can kill Loki and take it.
It sure did.
That mattered. But yeah, in our sacred timeline, Loki can't disappear because he doesn't disappear because he goes on to be in Dark World and
he goes on to be killed by Thanos and all this other stuff.
All right. Let's move on to something a little less complicated because people have been asking us about this as well. Thank you for everyone who already peeped our no spoilers, no preview. First.
Thank you for your guac questions.
Oh, yeah,
that's the end of guac. If you have a guac question, and again, we will let you all know when this main show will be back. But in the meantime, we still want your questions. So hit us up, contact@ForAllNerds.com. If you are part of the Patreon fam, you get guaranteed questions. So just send us a message, patreon.com/ForAllNerds. And you can always hit us up on our socials @ForAllNerds. And continue, BenHaMeen.
Thank you. Yes, something a little less complicated because we already did do a no spoilers preview review of Shang-Chi, the Legend of the Ten Rings.
The Ten
Rings with Ron Solo and Laura Siricool. Thank you both for joining me on that. That was, fantastic. Love the different perspectives.
I love the interview. I love Laura, love Ron. I love as you say, I love the perspective. I love the points that they kept bringing up that again, just unique to an Asian American experience and unique to different aspects of Asian culture. I really enjoyed that interview. That chat you all had. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I learned so much from that, so thank you both for joining us. But we have yet to really talk about it. Spoilerific. I'll be honest, there's not much more that I can say. I definitely want to hear how you feel about the film.
Yeah.
Without me, because I still don't want to spoil certain things.
And that's fine.
And I loved it all. I thought the movie's fucking great.
I went into this, and I had said this like a year prior, but I had went into this believing Shang-Chi was going to be just amazing. Like I was like, there ain't no way, boy. There ain't no way it's not going to be amazing. And it exceeded my expectations. It's an absolute top tier MCU movie, especially when it comes to character introductions. We've seen character introductions that have been lukewarm. We've seen the ones that have been amazing. Like this is one of the top tier ones. And it annoys me, but I also understand why it kept coming up about people making the comparisons with Black Panther and how this is the Asian approach to Black Panther. Like on a very basic, linear level, you can say that, right? This is the intro movie for that character where the majority of the writers and creators and everything behind it and the cast itself are of Asian descent of some point. And then with Black Panther, you had the same, someone within a Black African descent or whatever within the African diaspora. So I see on that linear point, there's the similarities, and then of course, like I said, the introduction of somebody new into the MCU. Fine. However, just this as its own standalone, when it's standing on its own 2 feet, it shines so much. It is there's an amalgamation of many different cultures within the Asian community. However, it's done from the perspective of Asian people within the community. So it's not, and Ron had mentioned this, I think later on in tweets, so it's not fetishization. It's not
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not done in a disrespectful manner. It's not like it's something. It's beautiful, to be quite honest with you. Like, from the way the story was written, from the core themes of family and that value, and obviously being able to loop that into a massive MCU production where, yeah, there are fantastical things happening and there's magic and there's this and there's that. Like, it all still made so much sense. The way the movie looked was absolutely gorgeous. They spared no expense. The cast was absolutely phenomenal. All personal feelings aside that you or anybody else may have about Awkwafina, she did great with her character. She really did. And I can see why her character is going to continue on. As long as she don't continue to do fuck shit in real life, her character is going to continue.
Yes.
Simi Lu, he surprised me just in how much better he was than I thought he would be. And again, I only base this off the trailers because I wasn't seeing, for me, enough emoting and things that would make me attach myself emotionally to his character. But he fulfilled that. All of that went out the window once I really got into the film, into Shang-Chi, and he really did a great job. And then I know, BenHaMeen, you and I were talking about how could he fulfill, because you said in the comics, Shang-Chi ends up being more of this kind of like James Bond-esque type of real smooth motherfucker. And I can see how Simi's going to make that work. Like, easily. He has the personality for that. He has the chops for that. So within the cast, again, you had legends. You had Michelle Yeoh. You had Tony Young. I was screaming when Michelle came on screen. I was like, "Yo, that's my bitch! Like, I love her! And then the way the dynamicism of the what am I looking for? What's the name of the words that the people say of the script and the script itself, and the pacing was very well done as well. And the Tony Young, like, he wasn't a one-dimensional bad guy. Like, I wouldn't even call him the bad guy. He wasn't. Like, he was this misguided motherfucker that was hearing things. So I just like, and I don't blame him. Like, he thought that was his wife on the other side. Like, everything he was doing was, he did everything to avenge his wife. He basically gave up being a god to live his life with his wife, make kids, have a family. Humans did him wrong, so he had to god up again. Then he started hearing his wife on the other side. He had to go get his wife. Do you blame him, man? And everybody was like, "Nah, Tony, that ain't her." Hey, man, I hear her voice. Ain't no way, boy, is what he said. And he still wanted to do what he wanted to do. But at the end, it made sense. Like, he was a dynamic villain, if you want to say, like a Killmonger. Like, yeah, he did a fucked up shit, but what was his real reasoning behind it? So in that way, like, I really enjoyed the characterizations. Again, I mentioned I enjoyed the script. I enjoyed the humor. It was just the right amount of humor. It wasn't goofy. It wasn't staid, like very boring. The fight choreography, stunts, out of fucking control. I got Crouching Tiger tease, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon tease. I got Jackie Chan, Jet Li tease. I got CGI type fighting tease. Like, there was Kung Fu Hustle. Like, there was even there's an Easter egg. There's a Kung Fu Hustle poster in Shang-Chi's room or in one of their rooms towards the beginning of the film. So long story short, I really, truly enjoyed Shang-Chi, and I'm going to see it again. And it was a top tier Marvel film, and it had actually worthwhile Easter eggs at the end or credit and post-credit scenes. So it integrated itself very nicely into the current timeline of the MCU.
Yep. And I guess the one big, not even spoiler that we didn't really mention was the reintroduction of Trevor from Iron Man 3.
I was crying. That's the Mandarin from Iron Man 3.
The greatest Iron Man film ever made.
And the great Sir Ben Kingsley.
Yes. So me is
and
like
not
I
the
said.
best Iron Man film. I heard that, Ben.
Hey. I'm stand by it. At me, DJ BenHaMeen. Disagree if you want, but you're wrong. And I understand. It's the greatest Iron Man film ever made. And to me, it was like, that's why I loved it so much, Shang-Chi and Iron Man 3, because both of them were big FUs to racism in a way. Like, the Mandarin and this idea, I was a kid, Iron Man was one of my favorite characters growing up. I loved the Mandarin. I loved the 10 Rings. But I was also like, this shit is goofy as fuck. This dude named the Mandarin who's from China, and then he shows up and, with rings on his fingers and tries to fight Iron Man. It looks stupid as hell. So I love the updating of the 10 rings to being like the gauntlets on the arms. That was an ill twist.
And I
But
love what you're about to say.
yeah, and I just love when my man was like, I'm not a fucking orange. You know, I'm not named after some chicken. Like all this, you know, like, and then
It was a fuck you to racism.
yeah, it was a fuck you to racism. And it's also like, I don't like hate fanboys, but I also don't like anyone who feels like their way is the only way or what they grew up on has to be the way. Because most time what you grew up on was some toxicness. And so I'm all for eliminating that. So when he's like, I'm not orange, I'm not no chicken, you know, all that. And then
like Mandarin, like why would you name me? And they and the fact that towards that, what I love is that Tony Leung was character and all of them explain like, yo, you appropriated me. And then you made me out to be a terrorist.
Yep.
And then, you know, you appropriated my name and my title and my stature, made me to be a terrorist, and then did all this stuff under my name. So then now people associate, you know, this violence and terrible stuff with me.
Yep. So I loved all of that. I loved the update. I love Ben Kingsley coming back and getting to play Trevor again because I thought that's when
he was
that's what I mean. That's
hilarious.
like whether or not you like the twist in Iron Man 3, Ben Kingsley eats it as Trevor in that movie. You know, and he eats it in Shang-Chi again.
He chews that fucking scenery. I love it.
Choose it. And they didn't make him like the savior or anything. Like when like that was one thing in Black Panther when what's his name, the CIA agent at the end is helping him out. Like, fuck out of here. You know? Like, no, you know, but this didn't really have that. He's involved, but not to the point where I was like, fuck out of here. So I loved it, you know?
Yeah. I again, a type of movie that I would absolutely watch more than once. It was top tier. I can't wait for it to drop on Disney Plus. I do know that they said, unlike Black Widow, they did this theater only, and now as of a couple of days ago, it had made 94 million worldwide to make it the #1 film in the world, and it's the top grossing film of all time for Labor Day weekend now.
Go ahead.
The prior film was like early 2000s, like 2008 or something like that. So to be able to break that record and break that slump, because Labor Day is known as a slow time for the box office, that's incredible. So I'm just really proud of everyone who's been on that project and everybody that's being represented. Like shout out to Ron again with POC Culture. They raised I think it was 12,000 or so.
20,000.
20,000. Excuse me. They raised 20,000 plus.
Yeah, plus
to help. Just essentially similar to Black Panther, to send kids to go see this movie. Because just like how we if you remember how we talked about how to see little Black kids see themselves in the movie, same thing with young Asian kids. Like to be able to see yourself in the movie or see parts of your culture represented and not done in a method of love. Like all of that was done from love, and you can see in the output. And like, I could not understand. As I was watching, I was like, yo, if I was a kid, you know, and that was my background, I was like, yo, that's me. Like, that's my people's, or that's, you know, like, I'm being represented in a way that's, like, amazing and appealing and all of the great adjectives you want to throw out there. So, Shang-Chi, thumbs up for me. Really appreciate it. Really love the direction. And I can't wait to see Simu Liu and friends again.
Word up. All right.
One more thing.
Yes.
The creature creation in that film in Shang-Chi, like all the different creatures that showed up. I call them Pokemon because they all look like Pokemon. But all them Pokemon that showed up, really well. Amazing character work. Amazing. Just amazing. Love it.
I love the lion dogs.
Yes. Because you know they're modeled after the lion dogs in like the old images, the watercolor images and stuff like that.
Yep, and all the statues, everything.
Statues, yeah.
Yep. All right, and also related to Shang-Chi and the No Way Home trailer, which we talked about on Views from the 616. We're not going to get back into that right now. But we do have a brand new design on tpublic.com/ForAllNerds. The amazing Wong Was Right shirt is now available. Go get yours. You can get it on mugs. You can get it on masks. You can get it on shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts for the fall and winter seasons, whatever you want. It features Wong dipping out through the portal because as we all know that Wong was right to dip every time.
Wong always dips.
And when he doesn't, as we will discuss on Views from the 616 this week, it's all bad. Yeah. So Wong was right to dip. Get your shirt right now. Represent Views from the 616. Represent For All Nerds. represents Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, the MCU with the Wong was right design. It's beautiful. You'll probably see it on me by next week on Views from the 616.
I'm definitely getting that design.
Word up.
So, Ben, let's run through a few more things that we wanted to give our take on. That, like I said, we haven't had time to talk to you all so long. There's a couple of other things we wanted to just give some quick mentions to.
Word up, real quick. I wanted to shout out Reservation Dogs. If you're not watching this show, it's on Hulu. I think it's from FX. It is one of my favorite shows of the year. I think it's one of the best shows, in a long time.
I like it.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. It's a show about 4 indigenous teens who are living on a reservation, and they're attempting to leave the reservation to go to California. But it's more just about their life and just, indigenous life and just a beautiful slice of life character study on these 4 teens. They all get equal time. They start getting their own episodes as the season goes on. And it's just beautiful and just heartfelt. It can, the thing that I'll say the most about it that's so great is the way that it can go from comedy to tragedy all in one episode and then back again. And it's being able to shift that tone while still maintaining the specific tone of the show that's just impeccable. And it's got indigenous creators from top to bottom. So shout out to that show. If you're not watching it, that's just a show that I would recommend highest marks to it. So
I love the show Reservation Dogs. I got into it last week, and it's, again, phenomenal storytelling and characters. I will say that there has been some talks that's gone out on Twitter about and these are more, and y'all, you have to remember, there's a difference. This isn't, first of all, I don't really think there's such thing as cancel culture, but this is not a cancel culture. This is honest critique. And there is critique about that. The area that this show takes place in involves particular tribes, so particularly the Seminole tribe, I'm not mistaken, where there are, in real life, there are lots of Black people who are also of Native descent, but they're not represented in the show. So there was an honest critique put out that, while the show is great, they hope in season 2 that they actually reach out to Black natives to be part of the show in some way, shape, or form, so as far as as far as I've learned, there is a large population of Black natives that just kind of were, in this case, ignored or not even included. So someone of that descent had just mentioned that, and again, this was an honest critique. They were just like, we hope in season 2 that there's a thought to loop in that aspect of the culture. Now, again, this goes back to the idea of one show having to represent everybody, right? And I know that that's understandable. But my thing is, this is a great conversation to have. This is something that should be viewed seriously by the creators and anyone involved to say, and addressed, right? This shouldn't be invalidated. It definitely should be addressed. Can you expect the show to take on everything at once perfectly? Not necessarily. However, allow the space to learn and grow from it, right? So that's why when the person gave all their reasonings and understandings and then put their, I hope in season 2 that, they look into this, because that's potential, right? People who are of Native descent, who are also of other cultures or other ethnicities rather, may feel left out when they see shows like this. But again, it's also a hard tightrope to walk. I understand.
I also feel like let's let something finish. I'm a person who likes to wait till something's done before you start. I will first say this is great before I will say, these are the problems with it. Because you can always point out problems, but it's very rare that we have something this good that was done by natives, that was done by people with honest intents. Now, and once again, the season isn't even over yet. At the same time, we don't ask this of other shows, right? We were just discussing The Wire. There are plenty of other people in Baltimore. When The Wire even attempted to show white people, it is regarded as the worst season for some reason.
Season 2.
Yeah.
Because it was boring.
It's not, though. But see, I'm not going to get into that discussion because that's so disrespectful. Because it's so good. Especially writing, but that's what I'm saying.
My thing is, people, including myself, felt certain aspects. I know,
but I also I get that. But it's I also feel like a lot of people just write the season off as a whole without giving it the respect it deserves, without really examining what it is. And that's my problem with that. And so with this, I'm like, I don't want to just be like, I get it. Fine. Honest, I have Native like directly in me where I can trace to it, indigenous people. But at the same time, I'm not asking the show to do all that just yet. It ain't even got to a season 2 yet. They don't know if there will be a season 2 for the most part. So it's like you gotta let people. I get it, but I don't get it. Is all I'm gonna say. I get it.
That's fair. Yeah, but
like the season ain't even over yet.
Right, but my thing is based on
what if black people show up next episode? You gonna feel real funny.
Well, it's not that. It's not that whether black people. It's not whether black people show
what
up
if
or
the
not.
black indigenous people show up? That's what I'm saying. Not
But
you.
No, I hear you. But it's also not whether black people of that culture show up or not. It's how are they represented. Like there's already been a black character. It's not about just having, and you know that, but it's just not just about having a black character in it. There's already been 2, but one or 2. But it's really about, for example, in this specific reservation that's portrayed, that involves the freedmen live there, and the freedmen are black natives. So that's why when that person, I believe, is of that group. So when they watched. And this is essentially their reservation. And like they were essentially erased. They felt away. And that's why they expressed themselves. And again, it wasn't this show is terrible, this and that. It was, this is how I feel. This is how I feel like we may have been erased for reasons. And I hope that the creators look into this for the next season. And yes, Ben, like you said, the season's not even over. We don't know what else may come. But I understand people having that sentiment. And I'm not completely caught up, so I don't know what else may have triggered that thought, because there could have been some portrayal that triggered the thought of, okay, wait, where is the black native experience in here?
I haven't seen
and also
that
it may
yet.
be hard, like especially if the writers are not of black native experience, maybe they don't want to write to that. Who knows?
Yeah, there's a lot of things, and it's like I said, we just don't. Especially with us, that's my problem. Especially with like when we don't get that many chances. So like I get it, but at the same time, it's like that's me in personal. Like there's been a lot of recent stuff created by people of color that I did not agree with. You won't hear a word out my mouth about it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like not only do we get to create mediocre shit, we also get to create great shit like this show without being like, let it finish first. That's all I'm saying. Let it finish. That's why I'd say that for anything. It's been so many times people have been like, they'll hit me about views from the 616 and they'll be like, yo, these writers don't know what they're doing. I'm like, nigga, we halfway through the season. How can you tell? You know what I mean? Like, because if you know writing, there's a season story arc. I haven't seen it yet. So how do I know if they don't know what they're doing? You gotta let it breathe. Let it breathe. Let people enjoy things. I get it, but I do get it. I'm not from that reservation. It's just like I rewatched Jason's Lyric the other day, and it still makes no sense to me because that's my hood. And I'm like, what the fuck is this movie talking about? So I get it, but I've also seen the whole movie.
Yeah.
Something that I haven't seen the whole of, and I don't know just yet. Today, The Matrix Resurrections, The Matrix 4.
Yeah.
Trailer dropped. The website was more hyped to me. Shout out to Chica,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's all, like, I don't know what they're doing yet, right? I don't know what this is about. I don't know. The trailer still doesn't, there's a lot of clues, a lot of speculations to be going on. But me personally, I was just like, oh my God. Like visuals, I don't need you to call back to every visual I've seen before. That doesn't get me hype because I can remember seeing the Matrix trailer for the first time, Morpheus coming on and being like, I can't tell you what the Matrix is. And then a bunch of visuals that I'd never seen anywhere. And me being like, what the fuck? And then I remember walking into the movie not knowing much. And that's so different today. It's so tough now. But I remember going to the Matrix and really not knowing what the fuck this movie was even about. Really not knowing. Like, and then as it unfolds, it's just like, what? Did they just put some shit in that nigga's mouth and it came out of his stomach? Like, what? Wait, what? What? And it's like, and then at the end of it, you're like, oh, the nigga flies away. This movie's the greatest thing I've ever seen. And then, the sequels, are various, the anime, incredible. But this just gave me a feeling like, oh, I remember that shot. Oh, they're in the rain and there's somebody pointing a gun in his head. Oh, they're jumping off a building and the ripple effect of the building exploding. The first time they did a ripple effect on a building exploding, I never seen no shit like that. Now it's like, I've seen that. Oh, the dude's face turns into an agent with some graphics that look like PS4,
Not PS4.
Come on, man. When he shook his head and turned to the agent, it was like, this ain't it. Bam.
Ben, here's the thing you have to remember.
Yeah.
And you had already said what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You and I remember everything about every Matrix and everything.
Yes.
How many years has it been? How many generations now away are we? At least one.
Not that many.
At least one. So there hasn't literally, besides the Animatrix, there literally has been nothing about the Matrix for 10 plus years.
Facts.
So you have to understand they are going, and you can sit here and say they don't have to, but I think in order to build the bridge between us, the people who know things, and the others, the people who don't, they need to have those callbacks to those, and yes, you can also say that's just nostalgia porn.
Yes.
The callbacks to the imagery and the special effects used in the older ones to be like, yo, this is all the same. And yes, it is to hit those nostalgia receptors. Yes, it may annoy you, but I understand why it was done. And my thing is, and there's still a great deal of people who are going to see this movie who don't know shit about the Matrix, who are now either just become real like adults or children or younger, right? They have no fucking clue. They may have seen a reference here and there, but they don't fucking know. So I understand them also wanting to do that because you know what's going to happen. These new fans are going to watch this movie and they're going to, if they don't do it beforehand, they're going to watch this movie first and go back to the old movies and be like, oh, that's the callback. That's what that's from. Just similar. And I'll give you an analogy similar to how we review Views from the 616. What do? We go to old material, right? We go to previous material. We do our comparisons and contrasts. We do our analyses. This is also a way for people to do that. And my thing is, it's really three things. It's nostalgia porn for sure. Absolutely. Meaning, when I say nostalgia porn, for those who are listening, I'm just saying just real easy ways to make people fanboys, if you will, hype about things. Like, because you're showing them familiar pictures and imagery and things like that. Two is to bridge that gap between new fans and old. Because at the end of the day, people still like that shit. Ben, even you may not, but I understand it. And three, it's also a literary device in many ways. It's also an analysis device for you to go back and see the comparisons and the contrast and how things are related to each other. That's how I'm viewing it.
I just felt like it was a trailer designed for YouTubers so they can do the reviews when they're like, look at 81 Easter eggs from the Matrix trailer. And it's like, here, he's doing this, and this was just like in the Matrix before. But it's like, yeah, but okay. And I get it. It seems to be that at the end of the Matrix, the machines and Neo made their compromise, and it seems they put him back into the Matrix. They're feeding him blue pills to keep him asleep. Neo, new Morpheus, shows up and gives him a red pill, and we're back at it again. And
yeah. Well, I was fucking excited, Ben. I mean,
it's still real to me, damn it.
It's still real to me. No, I was fucking excited because, and I'm one of the ones that are attracted to the nostalgia porn in this specifically because I have always been a massive, massive Matrix fan.
Yeah, who isn't?
Like when it first came out, I was like coming out of middle school, okay? And so throughout my high school years, that's when I was like getting, I was getting, I had this. My friend at the time bought me like this plexiglass box set that had all the movies, the DVDs, all of the films, and then for each film it had like the director's cut, and then there was the Animatrix, and then like some behind the scenes shit, and then they even had like a Neo figurine in there. Like the point is that I'm trying to make is I was deep in it. Deep, my nigga. Like I was in the Matrix my damn self.
Yeah.
Call me an operator type shit. So for people like me, which I know there are plenty, and the reason why this movie got the money in the first place and the green light is because like you're also appealing to us. So for me, like I fucking lost my mind. I was like, yo, this shit is incredible. Is it rehash? Absolutely. I think it was their easiest Lana's directing, but I think that may have been the easiest way into things. And also, it's not new, right? Like the Matrix had always established, at least from the second movie onwards, that the Matrix resets itself over and over again. So they built in the capacity of having a reboot within the structure of the world of the Matrix. It's built in. If that's not fucking genius, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. So I expected shit to see some of the same, but also I hope something new. I absolutely pray to God. I pray to the architect that there's some new shit here, because I also don't want to see the Matrix 1 all over again.
Well, DC had already invented that idea of, rebooting their universe. So that wasn't like, and I'm sure others had. So I do have a question though, like, because you were like that age. I mean, trust me, I was just as deep. I mean, no, you gotta understand the fiendom levels. Cause I was like college. So I was like, the fiendom levels of like information, everything, playing all the video games, all that shit. But I was so like, I liked the second one. It's cool. And then I think the third one is a bunch of garbage. And I will say that. And the
third one is trash.
Okay, well, so I just wanted to know.
Is it which one I personally don't like as much? It's either the second or the third one.
The third one is when it turns into an army movie. And also the real problem with it is like, we talked about this before on the show, is that the Matrix steals...
Not trash. I just disagree with the way it went. I did not say the word trash. It's either the second... I think it's the second one where I was just like, all right, I don't get it.
I like the second one, I get it upon repeat viewings. But let me get to this. Like, we talked about this, how the Invisibles, come up with by Grant Morrison, is basically ripped off by the Matrix. Like, I mean, panel for panel, shot for shot at points. They rip off the Invisibles. And more so, they rip off the idea that there's this force behind the world controlling everything. And the Invisibles and the first Matrix both go with the idea that anyone can become great. Mm-hmm. That Neo is going to teach everyone to be like him. It's the original idea of Jesus. That Jesus says in the Bible, you will all be greater than I. But then what gets corrupted, and the same thing happens to the Matrix, and that's what Grant Morrison has talked about, is that he's like, they didn't have me to rip off anymore. So when they did the second and third ones, they go to a Western idea of Christianity where it's like Jesus is the savior, and that's what Neo becomes.
When he becomes Jesus is when I go, wait, where did this come from?
And that's what I mean. That's why I'm not hyped for this one, because their mythology is already very weird. And then the other problem that I have with this shit is and this is a problem with art when you put it out to the world, other people interpret it. So their whole red pill, blue pill thing has been taken over by right wingers. And so unless they address that shit.
It has? I didn't know that.
Massively.
And I had no idea.
Massively. I'm not sure of which pill it is, but they all talk about, take the pill so you can, or they're like,
if you want to wake up from reality.
But they want us to, when they're saying that they're waking up like anti-mask, anti-black,
they say take the red pill.
I can't remember which one because I don't pay attention.
Well, I'll tell you which pill it is, but they actually say that.
Yeah, they say
the red one. The red one wakes you up from the dream. The blue.
Well, I see that they say take the blue. I don't know which one they say, or they've corrupted the red pill message. I don't know. I don't care. But my point is that it's out there, and so even using this, when they put that out, and then when they made on the show on the website, take which pill, like it's like. There shouldn't be a fucking choice here. It's like when the Star Wars did this
actually should be, because Neo had the same choice.
Well, okay, Star Wars did this once when Star Wars was like choose the rebellion or choose the empire. And mad people chose the empire.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, the empire is cool.
Yeah,
but also, Ben, that makes sense to me. As a human beings, there are going to be you're gonna want the choice or the illusion of choice, right?
Yeah.
There are going to be tons of people say, fuck no, I don't care about the fucking apocalyptic wasteland. I don't care about freeing myself. I like my steak and woman in the red dress. Give me the blue pill.
Yes. I'm swallowing that shit whole.
To me, that still makes sense. There's nothing wrong with, like, that's always been the way it's been. The aspect of choice to me, it's not like you're saying, do you want to be a Nazi or do you want to be, a human being?
Empire was that, yeah. With Star Wars, it was more like, do you want to be a Nazi?
That's why I'm like, that's a little different.
Yeah, that's a little off.
A little different.
I was a little off there. Might have been a misstep.
That's just a little different.
I need that shot of Neo.
Do you want to stay in your dream world or do you want to know the truth?
I need that shot of Neo.
People will say, fuck that.
Yeah, I need that shot of him down in like the bottle of blue pills. Oh. That's like me. Like,
I'm staying in my dream.
Dog, I always think about that because like if you woke up to that shit, like, the sky is black, you're flying away on this dirty ship with a bunch of dirty people. You're like, oh, god damn it, nigga. Give me back to the red dress. Like,
I want my steak.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Ain't no steak when the sky is black. With the
Merovingian. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, there are going to be things that are rehashed and things where you're like, okay, I've seen this before. I'm just hopeful, and perhaps that's what's driving my anticipation and my still overall positivity for this. I'm hopeful for new concepts, right? I'm hopeful that there will be a new approach. We already know like about the things that are the same but different. Like you see Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who is playing Morpheus. We don't think it's a younger version of Morpheus. It's just a different Morpheus. We learned from, in the previous film, from the Oracle. In real life, the woman who played the first Oracle actually passed away, so they had to replace her. In the story, they explained, in the Matrix story, they explained, oh, these different programs, you know, the Oracle is a program, Neo's a program, all these different programs can appear in many different ways depending on the need. So I just assume with the Morpheus program, if you will, he's just appearing in a different way. It's a different version of him. It's the who knows what iteration of the Matrix this is. Because weren't they up to 7 or some shit in the original movie? So
we'll see.
6 or 7. We'll see. Anyway, like I said, I'm still excited, and again, just off the strength of the Black Panther. No, off the strength of how much I love the Matrix as a franchise, and I'm hopeful for more.
I'm hopeful, but this did not fill me with hope. I will be there day one, probably on HBO Max. I probably ain't hitting the theater for this one.
Can I say how I love HBO Max?
Man.
I love being able to roll out of bed or stop work or whatever and just sit down in my fucking TV and watch that shit, or my laptop or whatever. I love that. And again, there's silver linings to everything that's happened through the pandemic. I love the idea of VOD, like major movies being on VOD. Like,
love it.
I already pay for it, okay? Don't charge me extra. I already fucking pay for it with my HBO subscription. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And real quick before we get out of here, once again, thank you to everyone who's been here. Speaking of VOD, I peeped Quiet Place 2. I actually peeped A Quiet Place 1 and 2 on back-to-back nights this week, sitting on my couch. It was beautiful.
Oh, this week. Okay. I was late as well. I watched last month on a plane.
Yep. I've read the Quiet Place 1 script, so I'd already read it, and I was like, okay, it's a great script, but I didn't really need to see the movie after that. But then I was like, let me peep it. You know, it's
watch
on
the movie.
Yeah, no, I peeped it, obviously. I peeped the movie. I peeped both of them.
Yeah.
Fantastic movies. I thought the second one improved on a lot of things as far as the sound design and the directing, but I thought it was also a money grab of a movie more so, whereas like I did not need it as much. You know, it's solid, but I think the first one was just, you know, that was a perfect self-contained story.
The perfect. I agree with that. I don't know if it's, I mean, I guess yes, you can call it money grab. I know if there's a third one, it's absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, goddamn it!
Absolutely, because
y'all can't keep delaying this shit.
Yeah,
like,
because I really thought the Quiet Place 1 was really closed off very well, and you can make your own inferences and hope that the world was going to be better.
Yeah.
So, but for the Quiet Place 2 to basically, you know, let you know, okay,
Stretch
this is
it
what
out.
happened day one, and now here we are now, and stretch it out. It's like, goddamn, okay. I still had a phenomenal time watching Quiet Place 2. I was on that plane like into it. Like I could not freaking move. And you know, having the headphones on, like you mentioned it, Ben, to me separately, the sound design.
Oh,
Lord
beautiful.
Jesus in heaven, the sound design and the way that they use silence. Silence is a big character in this movie. It's called The Quiet Place, right? But they really made it a character in the second movie. And the real fear I was feeling for these people in the film, like I felt real anxiety and real trepidation anytime, like, you know, a little sound was made or there was like imminent danger or whatever. I really was in it with them. That being said, there was some goofy shit like the dumbass son and some of the decisions being made. I was like, why the fuck would you do that? Sure, it wouldn't be a horror film without bad decisions, but goddamn, that was a terrible decision. Knowing what you know in your world of these things, why would you do that? Why would you do that, sir? The son pissed me off royally. But again, we wouldn't have a full movie without stupid moves. I don't know.
There it is. And I think that's about it. We've been gone a long time, so we came back with this.
We've been running our mouth.
Yeah, for this extra long episode. Hope y'all enjoyed it. As always, make sure you follow me at DJ BenHaMeen. Follow Tatiana King at Tatiana King on all the Instagrams, the Twitters, all that. Make sure you follow us at ForAllNerds. Thank you to all the Twitch familia, everyone who joined us on this Friday for this special episode right here. Twitch.tv/ForAllNerds, the fan fam, going ham in the chat. I know you're happy we back.